Alright, so in the last video we started talking about the creation of the first triangle here, and we talked specifically about the parameters used to get the dimensions of the triangle, the side length and the height. So next I want to talk a little bit about how we got the actual vertices for the triangle. So the vertices for the triangle are, when you think about a Cartesian plane, you have xy coordinates, right? So the xy coordinates for point A on the graph was xa. For the y coordinate for point A is ya, and so on. And you can see there are two places where these coordinates get set. So xa, ya, xb, yb, xc, yc get set up here before we go into the for loop. And then inside the for loop, we set these guys xa1, ya1, etc., and then xa gets set to xa1, xb. So there are two basic places where these coordinates get set. Is once for the setup, where we set the initial values for the points in the triangle, and then when we loop through, here we're going 50 times. When we loop through all those different times, we're updating these values and then drawing the next smaller triangle. Okay, so that's what I tried to represent with in the paint method in my refactored version. So this is from the CV triangles refactored. I said, okay, we're going to have an initial vertices, an initial setup, and then inside the loop we'll recalculate the vertices each time to draw the next smaller triangle. So what I want to look at now is this initialization part, which I have in this initialize vertices method in my refactored version, and in the original book version it's this business right here up in front of the for loop. Okay, so let's take a look. Well, we have x center, y center, and in the book version, x center and y center are set in this init graphics bit. In my refactored version, I pass max x and max y to this initialize vertices method. So I just create x center, y center locally, but it's the same deal. It's max x divided by 2, max y divided by 2, and then we set our initial values, and I use the same idea. Okay, so for xa, for the point A, we have the x coordinate is the x center minus side half, and the y coordinate is y center minus half the height. Okay, so well, we want to remember actually when we're looking at this guy. So I'm going to scooch ahead. When we're looking at this XAYA business, these guys are actually logical coordinates. Okay, so we talked about device coordinates and logical coordinates before. If you look, and I'll go back to the book version here. In the original book version, let's see, x center and y center. Oh yeah, so in the book version, I guess they are. Oh yeah, they're fields in the CV triangles class. So x center and y center are ints. So we have x center divided by 2, all that stuff. But the vertices, the XA, YA, and so on, those are all floats. And when we draw them, we are converting. Remember, the IX is the function you use to convert from the logical coordinates into device coordinates. So we accept, with IA, we accept a float, and we return that float rounded. Now with the y coordinate, we subtract that value from max y. So the idea there is we want to change things up so that with our logical coordinates, our 0, 0 kind of starts down at this edge, and y values go up and x values go over this way. Okay. So what happens? So if we have XA equals x center minus side half, so center, and remember the triangle, the way we originally had it, is centered in the window. So if we say x center minus side half, we're going, from here over to here, and then if we say minus half the height, because we're talking logical coordinates, we're going down this way. So that's why this is our A. And it really is helpful to actually draw these out, and when you're first scoping out the code and figuring out what's going on, so you have a good sense of where your point A is, where your point B is, and so on. And if you look at these, so XB is the x value is x center plus the side half, and the y is the same y that this guy has. YB equals YA. So if they're the same y, then they're right there. And then XC, the x value is right at the center of the circle, as it should be, or the triangle, as it should be. And we add half the height, and we get up here. Okay, so that's why this triangle gets drawn like that. Yeah, so I guess that's the basics that I want to talk about now. I think what I ought to do in the next video is talk a little bit about how and why I moved these variables around. So like I have some x center is a field in the original book version, and I have it as a local variable, and I have my vertices as fields. So I'll talk about that in the next video.